Muy bien, me parece perfecto.
Yeah.
Salud.
Salud.
It's great to be here with Mr. Phenomenal Nom.
Yeah, I've never actually introduced myself, by the way. I've never introduced myself publicly. My name's Gonzalo. I'm Phenomenal Nom on Instagram. Sorry, I want that cut. You just cut that part and send it to me.
I'm JP. I'm a tequila expert and drinker. And I just love doing this.
I like drinking this stuff. Then I made it my job.
Yeah, been working in the tequila industry for 18 plus years.
Oh, wow. We drink really good tequila and we talk about it.
Yep. So, Quintaliza.
Yeah, man.
Ileana Partida, one of the few women distillers out there in the tequila world.
Okay.
I think the mezcal world has more women distillers than in the tequila industry.
Really?
It's funny because mezcal is more like a family thing and is ongoing like generation through generation.
Yes.
And there are some operations and some palenques that have been overtaken by the women in the
They
family.
have daughters, they didn't have sons.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. But in tequila, it's not that way. But Ileana, she's special because I've known her since she was very little because I worked at that distillery, her father's distillery, David Partida, since 2006. And I worked there for 13 years.
Jesus.
So she's very young and I met her there. She and her brothers grew up in the tequila world, in the agave.
Okay.
They grew up. They were born in agave fields and grew up there playing and in the distillery. And now his dad owns a second distillery where he produces other brands. But in Hacienda de Oro, the Nom 1438. 1522. Fuck, it's so good. I'm JP and I don't know my noms.
A phenomenal nom. I don't know noms either.
Man, it's Hacienda de Oro, so it's Nom 1522. And this is a distillery located in Amatitan. And well, they have, for extraction, they use, it's not a train or a roller mill, it's one single station of roller mills, but they have to pass through the fibers several times.
Okay.
And they just recollect the juices out of there, but they have to pick up the fibers and pass them again through the station so they can squeeze everything out of them. They have open air fermentation tanks, stainless steel tanks, and they use they use commercial yeast to produce their tequilas.
Okay.
And they have stainless steel alembics with copper coils.
Okay.
And 2 times distilled, as the norm states. Well, but what is interesting about this product, and you know it, is the aging, right?
Yeah. The aging is what makes it special, for sure. For sure. It's cold brew coffee, put in a barrel. It gets wet, it's beautiful, and then they pull that out and they bring tequila in. Like, that's insane to me. Like, hey, let's try something fun. I'm gonna put coffee in this barrel.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna put tequila. That's
so when Mike first told me about his idea, because I was a little bit involved in the process when this brand was born. It's I'm gonna age my tequila in a coffee barrel. I'm like, what do you mean a coffee barrel? He's like, yeah, so well, you season the barrels, making a cold brew in there, so you get all of the coffee notes in the wood, and after you fill it with a reposado, and then you have this great balance of notes between an already aged product for at least 2 months.
Yeah.
So, and you want to get the coffee notes in there because the toast of the barrel, the char of the barrel and the wood, has some dark chocolate, coffee notes naturally to reposados, and there are some reposados that go pretty well with coffee.
Yeah.
That's why when he first told me this, I was like, whoa, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
And just seeing this come to life has been amazing because the result was incredible. And it's a pretty unique product. So the double aging works is it's organic agave grown in the region of the valles. We have Los Altos or Highlands and the Valley of Tequila in Amatitan. We call it valles. So Zona Valles agaves, and organically grown, and then they're processed in the Hacienda de Oro distillery. They make the Blanco. They age it for 2 months in these ex-whiskey barrels. Okay. Pretty worn down barrels just to get it there, like just to get it to the reposado stage and to soften up like the Blanco.
Okay.
And then after you have the reposado and you have the base of the, let's say with the seal of the house of Hacienda de Oro, then you have the secondary aging in the coffee barrels.
Okay.
And these are newly American oak barrels that are charred and have not been used for any wine or spirit or whatsoever. They just ship them to Mexico.
They're coffee barrels.
The distillery, and they make the cold brew inside the barrels.
That's really cool.
And so they fill the reposado into those coffee barrels, and they leave them there for 3 months. So you have a 5-month reposado that is, as you can see, it's super dark for a reposado because it's using new oak, and that's super difficult and super hard to achieve. Like to use new oak in a spirit with so little time in it, it's very complex. It's very hard to manipulate and to. So the idea was to use the base of the reposado already softened product, and then age it in the coffee barrels. So you just add an extra layer of aromas and flavors in there. Have you heard of any other brands that are using barrels that have been seasoned or using this kind of technique for aging their tequilas?
I've heard of seasoned stuff, but not in the tequila world. Me personally, I don't know much, and I don't claim to know much, but I don't know anybody that's aging anything in a barrel and then dumping good tequila into it.
You're right.
To see, hey, let's see what happens here. This is definitely something special.
And I think what they did really well in getting deep into the coffee, not just saying, we make cold brew in the barrels and that's it. And they literally, they say that we use organic coffee from Chiapas, Mexico. Yeah. And they have an expert that is a toaster and that understand the level that you want for the kind of coffee you need and everything. So this is a very well thought of process. It's not just, let's just throw coffee in there and see what happens.
This isn't Folgers thrown into a can. It's not canned stuff, Folgers instant coffee thrown into a barrel. Hey, let's see what happens.
Correct. Yeah. And let's talk about the notes that we find in here. Let's see if we can dig out some interesting flavors and notes out of this. I always close my eyes because supposedly that heightens your senses a little bit. So.
I do the same thing. My brain goes where I'm not focusing on anything. If my eyes are open, I'm not focusing on anything. It's my brain goes, let me smell and actually smell.
So we're like a couple of blind people tasting. That's not funny. Super impolite, politically incorrect.
So that's not.
I forget that I'm not in Mexico, and this kind of jokes are not very welcome here.
It's true though. He's not wrong.
That's why they're insensitive.
In the Spanish world, we still have hot people on TV, and it's okay. It's encouraged. So I get caramelo, like caramel. I get those types of things, but then there's just that at the end of my breath in, I'm getting coffee, and I am noticing it there, and I think it's beautiful. I think what it's doing with agave I think it's pleasant. It's beautiful. It's not, again, not taking away from the agave in any way, shape, or form, because it still is tequila, but it's definitely adding something to it. It's adding a complexity to it that I would get in an añejo or an extra añejo.
Yeah.
That I would see like, hey, listen, this is an extra añejo. If they would have given this to me as an extra añejo, I'd believe them. I'd believe them. There's a lot of times where I drink extra añejos and I'm like, hey, that's straight up. That's BS 100%. That's not an extra añejo. It tastes like crap. I hate to say it, but it is true. And then a lot of brands out there exist that way. This at a reposado, that coffee really enhances the notes you get from the barrel. But again, not in an offensive way, not in any way where it's like,
Yeah, it's not a coffee liqueur, right?
No, it's not. This is not. Oh my gosh, what's the name of that brand?
It's not Mr.
Padron XL.
Yeah.
This is not Padron XL. This is tequila. This is this is tequila. There's no confusing it. But
Mr.
the thing
Black's,
is,
right?
yeah, or Mr. Black. Yeah, this is not a coffee liqueur in any way, shape, or form. This is something I'm going to give to somebody, and I'm going to go, hey, here's a pour of this tequila. They're going to drink it, and they're going to go, it is tequila, but it's different.
Yeah. There's a note
I love
that
different.
I agree, and there's a note that I find in some añejos that I'm getting here. It's but very, and I love like creating these mixes between the aromas that I'm sensing, but like a very subtle of ripe banana, and so it's kind of like a banana pancake with chocolate chips.
Oh my God, dude, I never realized that, but that's there. That's so crazy. You know what I'm getting right now? Like just right now, I'm actually realizing, and I don't think I've ever smelled it before. It's dusty, almost like a dusty barrel.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of, and it's nice on the nose, man. It's very.
Yeah, and it's part of the oak that you get in there, but there are like different types of oak. Like you get the acerrín. How do you call it? Like that? You say sawdust.
Yeah, sawdust. That's what I'm smelling.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like that, where you smell that sawdust.
You're getting the sawdust.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're getting the charred barrel or charred wood in it.
Yeah.
And
again, all pleasant, nothing offensive. Very, very, very easy to drink.
I also love their marketing, don't you?
Oh my God. No, the brand as it stands and stuff, I'm 100% on board. It is awesome.
They're doing fun stuff, and
Yeah.
they're fun guys too.
Yeah, they're definitely hitting it from a different perspective. It's good tequila, man. It's just, I hate to bring it up, but I was super excited. It was one of the, like my highlights was getting to taste the high proof. Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I'm like, getting to taste the high proof, it's an enhancement on this, substantial enhancement on this, but it's a good base product. This is an awesome product to have out to the market that I can't.
I almost think like going organic in this kind of product, if I were designing a tequila and somebody would ask me, hey, I want to make a coffee aged tequila. What do you think? I'm like, okay, but and I want to make it organic. I'm like, why would you make this organic if you're doing it in seasoned barrels? So to me, that speaks of the commitment to quality and to doing things right and to going to the roots of stuff. Like it's their philosophy, because they're doing that with the agaves that they're using, but also with the coffee that they put into the cold brew to fill the barrels. So to me, that says a lot about a brand. They're going the long way. They just don't want to make something that's artificial or they don't want to cut corners, and that says a lot to me about a product.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I get it, because it's like, hey, we're still respecting the spirit. We're still respecting what is tequila.
Yeah.
But hey, how do we make it different? How do we reinvent the wheel? Without reinventing the wheel, this is a beautiful example of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's great how the tequila connoisseurs crowd have taken and welcomed this product. I'm really surprised by that and really happy because that is a result when you play by those rules and you just make something honest and innovative in that way and clean, then that's what you get.
Yeah. No, that's it, man. That's 100% it. It's a matter of you make something and you throw your heart into it and it shines. It's with any brand, anybody that's doing that, if you're putting your heart into it and you're being real and you're not just trying to make a product for the masses, you're just trying to make a good product. It's like people will see that, pick it up, and they'll love it, and your brand will grow. Yeah. Again, and Quintaliza is an example of that in the sense of like, yo, they went out, they made something different. Yeah. But it's still tequila. It's still this beautiful spirit that we love.
So who should buy this? Who should? How would you explain or
this? See, that's the beautiful thing about this. For me, this is easier to give to somebody that's new in tequila. This is a product that's easy for me to bring to somebody that's not a tequila fan. Yeah. Hey, let me introduce you to tequila, but not just tequila. Let me introduce you to the good stuff. Normally, you have to take steps to get people there. With this, I don't have to. It's like, hey, listen, let me show you a good product. This isn't a Blanco, so it's more appealing to a lot of people. This isn't an añejo, an extra añejo that doesn't taste like tequila. This has tequila in it. It has coffee in it. And it is a great stepping stone, a welcome wagon, if you will, to what is tequila and what is good tequila and what is a real genuine brand, a real genuine way of thinking, of making a product. And I go, hey, I don't care who you are, here. Yeah. I don't have to look for somebody that's been drinking, that I've aged down from an extra añejo to an añejo to a repo. Hey, now I'm only drinking blancos and high proofs. I'm like, hey, here you go. Let me show you something kind of cool. And you can take somebody for a ride with this that they weren't expecting. And they're like, what, that's tequila? That's special. And that's the way that I feel.
Yeah, and I also think that this is a tequila that you can enjoy on the rocks.
Oh my God.
Because, and I recommend it because, for example, my wife, she always is like, oh, after dinner, I would love a Quintaliza on the rocks because we love we like carajillos in Mexico. Carajillo is a big thing. It's the biggest cocktail in Mexico.
Carajillo is delicious.
And it's just like the espresso shot, the Licor 43, which is very sweet. But there are versions of carajillo made with tequila that now these bartenders, amazing mixologists are creating with tequila and some coffee liqueur and stuff. But to maybe to us, well, at least me and Anna in my home, like this is like a substitute for that kind of cocktail. Of course, it's not as nearly as sweet as a carajillo because it doesn't have a liqueur or stuff. Yeah. But just throw this on the rocks and it's amazing without letting it dilute too much, of course. But then it loses a lot of it. But this is great. No,
this is great. A carajillo, I've had plenty of them. I've had a ton of them. This making a carajillo is chef's kiss. I mean, it is the tequila that belongs in the carajillo. Like if there was one that I was like, hey, like that's the one I'm going for. This is the bottle I'm grabbing. Yeah. Because it's already there. It's like the base product, the base spirit, the thing that you want is there. And And if you don't want a carajillo, this is a hell of a drink to have because it's there without all the sweetness, with all the things. It's still tequila. It's still the base spirit. Salud.
Salud, Gonzo.